you come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, 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 nah. Delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment.
Don't you say it, I can't hear it. I get defensive when I think you're calling me out. But I don't scream, I don't shout. I seethe in my anger, I swallow my answers. I try to listen, but it's all bubbling out. Can you hear me now? What are we doing? I don't know. What are we doing? I
everybody. Welcome to another episode of Taekwondo. Hope that you are doing well. Great of you to be here indeed. And welcome. It is the last Saturday of the month, which means that it's also the time for a Q&A. So I will be saying hi to a lot of people that are live. If you're not live, and that might be the case because you have other stuff that you need to do, then please go ahead and then just type a comment after the fact, because also that will be helpful and I will be paying attention to that, definitely. So without further ado, let's talk about people that are joining me. One of the major peoples that are not in the house is, of course, my dad. You can imagine where he is at the moment. He is doing a bit of a cat sitting. So he is here in my condo. So he's looking into that. Welcome, everybody. Indeed, good evening, says Rudy. Really curious to what you think about the Blackmagic design with switchers. To say it in Dutch, is it a let me say how do you say it? Is it too late? Let's call it like that. Is it too late? Yes or no? Let's talk about that indeed. MT is in the house as well. Great of you to be here. I will be commenting on that, Rudy. Also, welcome from Stuttgart, Germany, and of course, MT is also from Germany itself. Let me see. Oh yeah, so I started with a slider. Something went wrong. The cable was there's a cable for the battery. It's a dummy battery, and for some reason it was stuck into the mix. I fixed it, but I definitely need to figure out how to do that in a better way. Granted, I had a blue screen of death like 15 minutes before I started, so it was a bit of a last minute thing right there. So indeed, a blue screen of death. Hello, says Phil. Hello, everybody watching same time hockey, Finland versus Sweden. Well, that sounds like fun. Have a fantastic evening. Empty says that the 2ME switcher of Blackmagic is at Toman with a 6 to 8 weeks flag on it, so it's probably quite gonna take some time. Rudy says probably the most sold one. I will be talking about that again later. Roland is also in the house. Does anyone have experience with the new Hyperdex Shuttle HD? I already sent it back because it's hardly play a file. Interesting to figure that out. And he says cat sitting. What? He's sitting with the cats to do their stuff. Yes. Yeah, he is. It is a bit of a bummer, but yeah. The thing is that I want to bring value to you guys, and it's a bit of a bummer if it doesn't work out right. Okay, so yeah, let's start. Let's start the show, and let's just start the show with a big, huge thank you. And looking at the comment of Roland, it's still a big thank you, regardless of what will happen after this. But I purchased something. Yep, I actually have the Hyperdex Shuttle HD, the desktop recorder. That's the perfect clip player and master recorder. That is what I have in front of me at the moment. Now, that being said, I actually already have it here as well. And I am actually creating a video for you guys. So watch out for that video. It's going to be released tomorrow, or otherwise Monday or Tuesday. So that will be coming. And there will be two videos. One video with regard to a bit of a more generic overview, and one specifically tailored towards a teleprompter feature. So indeed. So let's talk about the Hyperdeck. I'm not going to really say a lot about what I think about it, apart from until now everything is working as I expect it to work. I can play videos. think that this is still live. Yep, this is still live. Let me just show you. So this does not contain any audio, but just to show you, and let me just make sure that it's also switched off, the audio, that is, just for the nick of it. Just don't want to get into trouble. So, all right. So this is literally playing from the Blackmagic design right there. So as you can see, it is working, and it is working quite nicely as well. Of course, it has a bit of a different backdrop, and that is really just because I wanted to make sure that you could actually see what the difference is between me being recorded or not. So I changed the color of my backdrop. So the Hyperdex Studio HD was not announced during NAB, but about a week before, it was actually part of like two major announcements, actually three major announcements. They had two Hyperdeck models, the Hyperdeck Shuttle HD and a 4K version of the mother of all Hyperdecks, which is blowing away. It was also 2,000 euros or something like that, so it's quite an expensive model as well. And next to that, they also had a other video, and that was related to DaVinci Resolve version 18, new version, which also enabled, for example, cloud synchronization, but also cloud storage. And they had a lot of different functionalities there as well. They had a cloud storage of 8 terabytes, which will set you back about $3,000. And they also had a 20 terabyte, which is on top of my $10,000. And they can go all the way up to 320 terabyte, which is quite a lot of serious money, especially if you are a YouTube channel like myself, and or like myself have an events business, but it's not big. It's not like huge, like multi thousands of euros content. If you have $1,000 euros, you're quite happy, so to speak. So I did purchase that Hyperdeck Shuttle HD with your money, to be clear. So typically what I say is that I always purchase the products myself. It's still the case. However, this is really thanks to you guys. And this is, like I said, one of the things that I wanted to do with the money that I get with my YouTube channel, meaning via views, via super chats. By the way, it's still working, super chats, and other possibilities, is that I'm buying something that will add value to you as an audience. And that is why I purchased this one. This is not really, well, arguably, you can run it for video playback and recording, and I will definitely do it for that. But for in this studio, I will most likely use it for one other possibility, and that is the teleprompter functionality, which is a game changer in my opinion. At least that is what I think. And let me see. Let me check if there's a question already. Oh, Martin. Welcome. Great for you to be here. Again, this is a Q&A. So if you have any questions, please mark them with a Q up front, or maybe a remark. Just mention it, because it's all in it together. We promised to each other that we do this once a month, and so this is again for this month. MT says, I think, Roland, there is the same strugglety with the normal Hyperdecks. They are pretty picky with the file format. Yes, they are definitely pretty picky with the file format. Something happened. Oh. I think that I'm gonna stop this part now. I think that this is something that I need to work a little bit better on. It seems that I now know what's going on, but I cannot fix it during live, so I have to remove that camera out of the equation. All right. Yeah, so it is picky. It is definitely picky. Hyperdecks have been notoriously picky. The first Hyperdeck that I had, the Hyperdeck Shuttle, many moons ago had a lot of issues. The next generation, which I have in my 19-inch rack, is also quite picky if it comes to formats, and the same thing goes with all Hyperdex. So basically what they say is that just stick to one file format, and if you do that, you're golden. And that's exactly the case. So once you have figured out what is working for you, then it will always work. So that's at least what I see, and especially if you record it and play it on the same device, it's definitely not going to be a problem. So yeah, it is picky, absolutely. Question from MT. Can you jog during video playback? Yes, you can. Though I do not have audio set up for that video that I just showed you, but you can do multiple things. So you can during video playback, you mean go back? That I do not know. Let me check. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna go to this to myself right there. This is me. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to jog back. It's not going to do anything. If I press jog and I do this, it's actually now changing. It's now changing something indeed. So that's working, but it stops with playing. So indeed, you do need to get out of the playback mode if you want to do that. Now you have three options. Even though you only have two buttons, you've got the jog. You got the scroll, but you also, if you press both of them at the same time, then you can also perform the shuttle environment. So that is possible. Let me where is that? Here it is. So yeah, the jog shuttle. So shuttle is if you press both at the same time, then that will work as well. And then you can actually also replay in slow motion, which is possible on this device, which is quite awesome in my opinion. Next to that, I actually also have this one in my possession at the moment. Still figuring out what to do with it. If I think that it's really something that is helpful for my setup, though this one is a little bit iffy, and that is a CloudPod, which is it does not have any storage internally, so you have to just put in a USB stick, and as a matter of fact, you see the output right there. In my back. So actually this is working. I can actually would be able to connect to it and use it for playing back videos or using it in editing if I would like to do that. I think it's cheaper to get your own NAS. Yeah, well, it might be indeed. I do not own a NAS, so that was also one of the reasons why I was considering something in that area. But I also like that this is also automatically synchronizing with Google Drive and with Dropbox at the same time. So it's really a backup that you have with the combination of the proxy possibilities that you have with DaVinci Resolve. You can fetch the proxy files first and then already start editing. At the later stage, you can just flip it around to the real set up the real files. Now I have an HD workflow, so it's not going to be a lot of difference for me. I don't know. I also don't think that I will have a 4K workflow, to be honest, because it's not only it's the full infrastructure needs to be changed, and that's going to be quite a challenge for me. Martin asks, do you use your PTZ cameras for big conference venues, and is their quality good enough for iMac use cases? Or iMac, you mean? iMac use case, iMac, I think that the answer is yes, though you can hear me. I'm not so 100% sure because my cameras are indeed HD. So they do have optical zoom. 20 times zoom is quite okay. So there's a lot of functionality there, though maybe not enough for all use cases. So I would say yes, but indeed, if I would have a 4K, then it would be better. And yes, I do use PTZ cameras for my conferences. Actually, I use 3 of them, and that is 3 of them, and then 1 steady camera, where I also bring in the audio from the audio mixer, so that I have a full-on setup going on. I feel a cat here somewhere. Ah, Kermit is here. the old cat. He's 12 years old today. He has his birthday. Roland says we will need the old laptop for a while for clips. Maybe I don't know. Sounds cool. I would use the dial to find the right starting point of a video clip. That's indeed the case. So if you press the jog functionality on your device, by the way, why not? Why just not show it to you? So let me quickly go to this camera. Oops. Wait for it. Okay, let's go to this camera right here and show you, and let's zoom in a little bit so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, and then let's flip the camera a little bit. Where is the flip? There you go. That's the flip. And then let's go down a little bit. Oh, that's too much. There you go. Now you can see it. All right, so this is the unit side by side with the A10 Mini Extreme. And if I just press the jog, I can actually also do that. Wait for it. I can maybe... Why not? Let's do something cool. Let's do something quickly. Let's remove this one. I can... that one goes there. Oh, let's reset this whole thing before I do something. Okay. All right, so let's just make this smaller, and then wait for it. The other way around. Okay, so I'm gonna do this live, so it doesn't look great from the get-go, but know that I'm working on it. There you go. So here we have this one. I'm gonna zoom this one in a little bit, and then go to the other one, and then zoom this one. Oh, it's the other. Oops. And main camera. No. This one I need to do. Zoom. A bit more that way. Zoom, so that you know what I'm doing. There you go. Okay, so on the left hand side you see the video. On the right hand side you see me pressing buttons. So if I hit play, you will see me then start playing. And if I then say stop, I can then go back via jog. So I can do this and then choose the frame that I want to start with. For example, I want to start here, and then I'm going to hit play. So that is something that I can do. I can also state scroll. Then I can just scroll like so very quickly, that way. So okay, I like this right there. Hit play again. And then I'm just paying attention to something, and I can press both buttons at the same time, and then it becomes something else. So now I'm running backwards, and I can also run forwards at a faster pace, like so. I can then stop. I can then go back. I can just go back to the first video, play it. I can say hit play again. Then it's looping through all of the videos, regardless if you have multiple videos. But I can also go clip mode and then play, and then hit play twice, and then it's looping one single video clip at the time. So I hope that will be a little bit of a idea for you. Now you know. And he says, I've got a 4-bay Synology with 4 times 8 terabytes HDD, works quite well. It also runs synchronized with cloud services. That is awesome. Again, yeah, there are multiple options of doing that. And I'm not saying that this is the best option. I'm not saying that. I think this is something that I would like to work with a little bit more. At the moment, it's a bit too early to state if this is something that I want to do. This is also the reason why I'm not going to go in depth at the moment. I want to understand it first. It's not even hooked up to the network at the moment, to be honest. So I'm definitely gonna work on that at a later stage. I actually received it today, so you cannot do everything at once, right? Right. And he says, we also use some 12 times PTZ for our mobile setup. It works very well. Mostly there, if only 8 to 10 meter distance to work. We also control them with the Stream Deck and presets. Yeah, so that's definitely a case. And very important to note is that unless you buy the state-of-the-art PTZ cameras, $5,000 and up, the motors and the way that they act on the lower end models, like the 2,000 euros models, 1800, 1400, 1600 models of, for example, PTZ optics, they do a great job with presets. That's exactly the way that I work with them. But you can pen and tilt with it a little bit, but it's iffy, to be honest. I don't really like that experience. Hence, I will always say then go to a better suited PTZ camera if you really want to use the pen tilt during the live show. That would be, yeah, you need to have very good products for that. Which PTZ cameras do you use? PTZ optics, like myself. I think that I also have the first series. No, I got the second series, the G2. And but I think that they're not very close. They're very close to each other. But yeah, good for presets. Good for and typically that's how I use them, and it's really easy. You just go close up to the presenter. And then of course you go back and forth between a big screen of your presentation. And then sometimes you just flip it around to show the audience, and then you can use a mid shot. So you have a lot of different options there. Martin says, I'm thinking of getting some of the Canon CRN 300. Canon PTZ cameras. All right, let me see. You're talking about this camera right here. Let me see this. So this is for 4K ultra 20 times zoom. That looks quite nice. But I think that it really depends on what you want to do. If it's for presets, it's definitely gonna be a nice camera. Canon does create very nice products. They're a little bit on the red side of the spectrum, but so they're quite saturated. But definitely good ones. I believe that these are the new ones right there, right? These are all new ones, if I'm not mistaken. They look nice. Good call. All right. Let me see what I have. CRN 300, I think it's the same DGF we use in a while. Yep. Control of a Visco over IP, also HTTPS command, and we got recently the new Super joystick controller, like I have myself as well. It's fantastic, the controller. That I do like. That's a very nice controller, especially if you have a multi-camera production with a lot of people that are available. Then I typically want to have somebody who's responsible for the PTZ cameras. They just have like 3 presets per camera, and it's really extremely easy for them. And they just wait for a command and they just fire it up, which is great. Yes, David just he uses them definitely, and it looks really great. And he's also using the Stream Deck for controlling them that I know of. All right, but I promised you to talk about the NAB, right? So let's talk about NAB a little bit. There are a few things that sprung to my mind. Of course, NAB is way bigger than the things that I'm interested in. So I'm definitely not the person that has all of the knowledge. I did watch the stream of Aaron Paraki where he was talking about the YOLO Live setup, and YOLO Live provides an all-in-one streaming box, which allows you to stream with videos with multiple cameras. If you have the original, you have, I believe, 2 cameras. If you have the Max, you've got 3 HDMI cameras, and there is now also a Mini, which I think has only 1 camera. But even though I do like what they do with streaming, what I don't like at all is that I would love to have this kind of product for me during my day-to-day job. I'm an architect, not in building, but in software, and I typically want to show things to people. So I want to have some technology to animate some drawings, or I want to show them multiple angles of the same thing. That is something that I am currently using the ATEM experience for, which means that I can only do it at home because it's so much gear that I have to take into account that it's getting to a point that it's just only possible here in my own living room, because my work desk is in my living room. Yeah. Anyway, so the first thing, so that one I was not that happy with. Actually, I'm not happy with the YOLO Box at all, due to the fact that they are providing the webcam feature, but not with audio, not with video, not with green screen. Still nothing, right? Anyway, the first thing that I thought that was really cool was Atomos. Atomos has a new feature in that's Cloud Studio, and what is it? Is a collection of cloud-based video production services, and it will be launched in June, of course. But it will also have a hardware component that will be available as a Shogun Connect and Atomos Connect, which it will be an accessory to put on the Ninja 5 or Ninja 5 Plus, and it will allow you to stream to multiple different streaming platforms, like for example Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, but it also allows you to perform remote viewing, but also indeed have all kinds of video sources at your disposal. And that is something that I really think that this is a game changer for a lot of people. So I am quite interested in to see how you can modify this DSLR to be on the cloud with a very nice setup. And it is really a cloud-based production, and this is something that I can imagine for a larger audience. I mean, a bigger audience, like for example companies that they are interested in having a low-key turnkey solution that will help you with that. So that was the first thing, and I will come back to your questions if indeed you have them. The next one that I really thought was interesting to talk about were the cameras of BirdDog. As you know, I am a little bit of a BirdDog fan myself. I really enjoy their products, and they actually had two new cameras that were very interesting to show, and that was the new 110 and 120. And these are cameras that are in the same area as the ones that I just talked about from PTZ Optics. So I'm not expecting them to be perfect if it comes to pan and tilt during production, but definitely for presets they are very nice. They are full NDI compatible. They also have SDI available to use, so, and HDMI as well. So that means that you basically have all functionality that your heart desires. The difference between the 110 compared to the 120 is that the 110 has a 10 times zoom lens, and the 120 has a 20 times zoom lens. And as you can see, you can add a number at the back of the camera so that you can identify which camera that it is. It really looks quite nice with that telelight system that you have. And it also, if you look at in the UI, it has a plethora of different functionalities that you have. You have video scopes. You have tele functionality. You have an OLED display that allows you to see the IP address. You no longer have to guess the IP address. It's one of the things that I really hate about my PTZ cameras, is that I cannot really always say which camera is which. And this is going to be very helpful. And this is a close-up of the back of the unit, so you have the possibility of having NDI and PoE on the Ethernet port, so you don't have to add an additional adapter. You have the SDI cable and HDMI. So I really think this is a nice level up compared to, for example, the PTZ 100 that they have. They actually had a lot of different additional products which were interesting. One of the interesting ones that I also saw was the pod, which will turn in an NDI source to a USB webcam, which can also be very handy in some cases. So a nice converter for you as well. Not something that I would immediately think that I would need, but maybe so. But those are the ones that I really thought were interesting to say the least. All right, before I go on to the last, and the most interesting one for me at least was the Blackmagic, I want to check if there are any questions or remarks. Oh, Roland has a cool. I like the Data Video PTR10 Mark II. Let's check that one out. The Data Video PTR10. Video PTR10. Mark II. Yep. Let's check that one out. Well, what it is. Right, so let's check that one out. So robotic pan tilt zoom camera. Oh, we know Photo Joseph, of course. Brand new PTR10 robotics pan tilt camera. Oh, that is really nice. So you can actually hook up a normal camera and have it converted into a PTZ camera, which is indeed very interesting because, of course, you have a very good quality camera, and you can control it with those devices. Now, I am wondering what are the DTAP? Nice. What is the control software that you have? You've got RS-42, which is very normal and something that you can easily achieve. So that's interesting. That's quite a nice setup. Yep. And indeed, DTAP, nice. Good call, Ronald. Good call. Oh, well, here you go. So the Mini has one HDMI and one USB, but you can only use one at a time. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Uh, Now the webcam out has audio included. Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot about that one. But still, you have picture, you've got audio, but you cannot add overlays or something like I did. This is simply not possible. So what's the point? Why should I invest in that then? I want to make it a very nice show, so to speak. It's not that it needs to be a show, of course, due to the work, but I like this kind of work anyway. Can the BirdDog put out 2 signals at the same time? I think they can. I have to figure that out. I know for a fact that it can do NDI and SDI at the same time, so technically that would be a yes. But I think that you're talking about HDMI and SDI. I do not know that at the moment, but I can definitely figure that out very easily. So I'll ask the guys at the Burdock if they know. The displays at the front they have built Telelight by changing the background colors. No, they have the backlight of the BirdDog is actually on the top of it. So if you go back, so here on the top you see the tele light, and it's actually it goes all the way to the back. So it's the full setup right there. And I presume that this 1, 2, and 3 is also like a overlay that you put on top of it, and it states 1, 2, 3 or something by just adding that, just like they did with the Blackmagic cameras as well. That's my expectation, at least. Namaste, Go Web Technologies. Namaste. Good to see you. Right. Okay. Let's talk about the major event. And that's, of course, the new ATEM. Yes, the new ATEM. Where to start with the new ATEM? Yeah, so these are HD models. Let's start with that knowledge. So if you go to the products website and you go to the ATEM, you still have your ATEM mini switchers. So that's no difference. The prices are still roughly the same. So there's no difference. And now you've got these 3 systems, the 1ME, the 2ME, and the 4ME, the 1, 2, and 4ME, where they all state Constellation HD. And that is because there's also a Constellation 8K, which is the one that you see here below, which is about 10,000 euros. But this product looks exactly the same as this product, though it's not as deep as that product. So it's the same front, but it definitely, this one is a bit shorter. Actually, this one has 2 fans on one side, at least that I've seen, and this one has 3 of them on one side. But you still see that the old ones are still there. So the old ATEMs that we all thought that they would change them are still not changed. So you still can buy a 4K model of the 1ME, the 2ME 4K model you can still buy, and the 4ME as well. Now, so yeah, it's still HD. And now for you would state, and looking back at the earliest comment that Rudy made, are they falling back on, are they doing a step back? Yes and no. I think that it's true for television productions, but for web-based applications or local television stations, then I would still think that HD is still a very, very good setup because of constraints. Because of constraints in throughput. For example, I have an upload speed of 20 gigabytes, and that's it. That's all I have. I don't have fiber yet. I know the fiber will be coming here, but it will not be this year, maybe next year. So I know it's going to be here one day, but then still, we still have the provider that we use to populate our broadcast. It's all in HD. Actually, it's not even in 1080. It's in 720. So, yeah, HD is for me enough. But then now comes another thing, is that, okay, if you compare, for example, the 1ME Constellation HD with the same price product right here, which is the Mini Extreme. So what do you get? Let me make it a little bit smaller because I actually added a little bit of a, so here you go. So, oops, let me go back. There you go. So the 1ME right here compared to the Mini Extreme. So 10 channels compared to 8 channels. HDMI based compared to SDI based. So far, so good. I think so far, so good. This one beats the ATEM Mini Extreme. Both have frame rate converters. Same thing. This one has Super Source, the ATEM Mini Extreme. The ATEM 1ME Constellation does not have Super Source. It fails on that one, honestly. This one can record the program out. This one cannot record the program out. You need to have something separate, like, for example, a Hyperdeck or the web presenter where you put in a USB drive. So that is something that needs to have more functionality. This one has 6 outputs, has six SDI outputs, where one of them can be needs to be a program out, of course. So you still have 5 additional outputs at your disposal. This one only has 2 outputs at your disposal. This one can stream without anything else. This one cannot stream without anything else. So as you can see, the Mini Extreme is definitely a better option than the ATEM 1ME Constellation. However, if you think that you really need SDI, then maybe this one is not that bad. If you compare it to the Extreme ISO, which also includes the possibility to record every single input, yeah, then actually all 3 of them fall short. They do not have ISO recording at all. They also do not have streaming functionality at all. So yes, I would state that looking at this, they're falling short. And it's also still HD, so that's a bit of a bummer. Now, if you want to choose between one of these systems, then it becomes really interesting. So, for example, if you go to the ATEM Constellation HD, and you go to these 3 models again, then the second one, the 2ME, has not 10 but 20 inputs, but it also has, because of the amount of inputs, it also has 2 multi-views outputs dedicated. So if you look at the back, which you can see right here, it also has 2 dedicated HD multi-views. It also has dedicated audio inputs, which are jacks. It also has 12 inputs, where 1, of course, remains a program out, because yeah, basically you do need to have something that is a program out. Otherwise, you do need to have the USB-C output, and that USB-C output is solely as a webcam. So that is something that it still can do. Then if you look at the difference between the 1ME and the 2ME, then you will see that this one actually has a Super Source. And Super Source allows you to have a very nice graphic with multiple setups, like I did just a few minutes ago, like for example here. That is you could state that is a Super Source. Something is happening. Then you have a then you have a two times Super Source in the 4K. Oh wait. Then you got a 2 times Super Source here. at your disposal if you have a 4ME, which makes it even better, right? But that's not all. That's not all. No. You also have the possibility of stingers, which is one of the things that I really dislike about the ATEM Mini Extreme, is that it has a stinger button. It has a stinger button. I can show it to you. It has a stinger button. Let me show you that button. It's right here. That button right there. It is not working. It's not doing anything, which is anyway. The 1ME, the 2ME, and the 4ME, all of them have the possibility of stingers. The 4ME, the 1ME has a shorter amount of time that it can have, so the buffer is shorter than the 4ME. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So if I look back on the system, what I do like is that it's still possible to switch on the device itself. But if I look back on it, I would state that the system to go for, if at all you want to go for it, is not the smallest one, but also not the biggest one. This is overkill galore, in my opinion. But the small one really shines. I mean, 20 inputs, 12 outputs, a stinger, 2 stingers even. You have 2ME, so you have a lot of functionality there. All right. I think that I'm very glad that my dad has... what happened? Okay, yeah, then we have to wait for it. Is it really that bad? Oh my god, okay. I'll try to fix it just to give me a few seconds. All right. So my dad is bleeding. Right. Okay. Vilsa asks, what's the cheapest BirdDog device for $150 only in NDI audio, not video? Dante NDI bridge. Might be. Might be. I thought that the play is also about 150 euros, but I don't know. I cannot recall if I saw that one. Is it then this one maybe? I know that the pod is a webcam output, so that is with video. And Dino is just software. No, I do not know. Sorry, I don't know. MT says we got our 8K 3 weeks ago and the 2ME control panel. Ooh, I am very, very jealous, MT. Very jealous. Very jealous. And all of them have a USB-C port with webcam functionality. Recording and streaming you have to do at a separate device. Yeah, indeed. And practically you have to build in a video hub. Yep. The Burdock Play is the cheapest NDI in HDMI out. Yes, correct. Go and do the first aid. We can wait. I think it's gonna be okay. It's not that bad. He's not gonna die on it. Come on. I bleed all the time. Look at my hands. No worries. All right. I will think that I'm gonna wrap up. Oh yeah, sorry, almost forgot. I almost forgot something to mention. So next month, I mean, month of May, we will have 2 videos with regards to. Where is he? Okay. 2 videos with regards to this product. And I have to admit that with a little bit of help of my dad, if I may say so. We will be purchasing a ATEM 2ME, the middle one, so that that one will be used for the 19-inch rack that I'm building, and the reason why I'm doing that is that it will remove the need of the 12x12 video hub, and that is something that I really need in my studio. So I'm extremely happy that I have that functionality at my disposal moving forward. So when it's coming, I do not know, but it's most likely coming soon. That is all that I have in store for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this Q&A session. It's not really a Q&A session, it was more with regard to the NAB show, but and so next week a lot of new gear, next month I mean a lot of new gear, and I'm expecting again that the first video about the Hyperdeck Shuttle HD will be released, if not tomorrow, then on Monday, so watch out for that. I see a lot of people are still talking about prices, etc. MT says the BirdDog Play is about 170 euros. That was announced in the autumns in December. So far, I know they haven't shipped it yet. That is correct. It is not yet shipped. Yeah, and you definitely need to check out that device. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I am going to look at my dad, see if I can help him to get some band-aids and that kind of stuff. He's not gonna die in that, no way, but I will definitely make sure that he is gonna be well. Thank you so much for watching this show. I see you on tomorrow or Monday on a pre-compiled video, and after that, of course, next Saturday with a new Taekwondo live. See you around. Bye bye. Have a good one.